Hello everyone and welcome to an Airsoft review. The gun that we will be covering today is the Echo One M249 Para Edition. What makes this gun the Para Edition is you're going to get a shorter outer barrel and a collapsible stock versus a longer and a full M249 stock. The Echo One model, which we'll be covering today, is a rebrand of the A&K M249 series, which is a clone of the Classic Army M249 series. Now, if you're wondering, a rebranding is when a company takes a gun, the A&K M249, slaps the name on it, starts distributing in the US, and charges you $100 more. That's basically what this is, but even though it's $100 more than the A&K version, it is a great gun, and it's up to your choice when you buy, but just be heated, they are the same. Now, this is a very heavy gun, and I do not suggest that newer players, not necessarily newer players, but I'm going to go to the category of younger players and suggest that they don't lug this around, because 6 hours of the 16-pound fully loaded box magazine, it's ridiculous. It weighs about 15-16 pounds fully loaded, and it will tire you out. Front to back, this gun is filled with metal parts. Aesthetically, it is great. The only metal parts that are not on this gun is the heat shield, the front cover for your hand grip, and your rear grip. Everything else on this gun is metal, from the sights to the bipod to the stocks to the body. It is completely metal, and it's really great. However, the box magazine that you will receive is not metal, and that's not unfortunate because the gun is still extremely heavy. So everything on this gun is metal that it should be. Front to back, we're going to start with a few things that I like about it. I like the rate of fire changer that's on here. It doesn't do anything, but it's a cool feature to have, and it's cool to rotate it and have it be functional. I really do like the feed tray and how you can put some dummy rounds in there. It's got a little collapse for the dummy rounds, and how your hop-up is going to be snuggled in there really tightly. That's a great feature about it. Probably one of my favorite features, though, is definitely going to be the folding stock. It's a great addition. It's basically just a pull-out, turn, and slide to get your short stock version, and it is great. Honestly, it is the best part because it makes the weight a little bit more compacted, a little bit more manageable. Not quite makes it a CQB gun, but it's close enough. I would not take this to CQB if you don't want to get overrun pretty quickly. So when you buy the gun, you're going to get your gun, you're going to get an 8.4 volt 1200 mAh battery, and a 2,500 round box magazine. My box magazine is stenciled, if you haven't noticed, and it's kind of red. It's pretty neat though, I guess. Alright, so now that you know what you get and some of the great features, go out and buy it. Or, you can listen to me tell you about some of the things that aren't so great, but just go buy it anyway. What you're going to find is the bipod is absolutely not worth it. It goes off a pinch system, so you pinch it and you can fold it into the foregrip, but I mean, it's a great storage, it's not going to escape, and to deploy it, you just pinch it again, and it goes out, but there's a lot of wobble on it, and, it gets rattly, it doesn't keep the gun very stable. Oh god, feed trays exploding, it's not going to keep very stable, it's going to move up and down, and just tuck it in there, just tuck it in there, just do it. Okay, so on to a couple more personal pet peeves of mine now. This is really a personal thing, but I'm not a fan of the grip. I feel like it's a little bit too wide for my hands. My hands are kind of skinny though. My fingers are skinny, my hands aren't too big, so, that's alright. My feed tray does not work. And when I say it doesn't work, I mean I can lift it up and I can access the hop-up. I can't throw it down. If you notice, it doesn't go down. What I have to do is I have to pull the charging handle back, clamp it down, and deal with it, which I guess is alright. And I had a couple problems with the stock, with the butt plate coming off, but that was fixed by a little bit of tape. But overall, it's a great gun, I promise. Okay, so this gun comes with two quick change features that are really neat, and I'll be demonstrating you one right now because it's just really that easy. It comes with a quick change outer barrel feature, and it's a really, really great feature. Basically, to start your quick change feature, you're going to take the heat shield, take it off just by pulling up. It's connected by a few pinchers here. And you'll find that there is a small lever here, and you'll hold the barrel down and pull it, and it'll quickly detach. And basically what that's going to give you is your outer barrel will be completely accessible, for any amazing welding modifications that you please to put, and a access to your inner and hop-up unit. Outer barrel is not a tight bore barrel, and the hop-up feature is a bit strange, but it is manageable, and I will get back to that in a minute. Something that the quick change feature also allows you to access easily is the battery compartment, and it's really easy just to place your battery in and connect it. Because in the para version versus the full stock, the battery is held in the front grip opposed to the stock. There is another way to get to the battery, and that is just by pulling this down and back, and you can take the bottom handguard off, but I find it a little bit harder to get the battery in, so I've personally gone with this way. Okay, and we are back to business. The next thing I would like to cover on this gun is your 2,500 round box magazine. And oof, it holds a lot of rounds. First thing you should know is that it's battery operated by two AA batteries placed in your top tray, and it has three options. You have an off, an automatic, and a sound control. And basically, the BBs have to be electronically fed through these nozzles, or through a nozzle, and fed into the gun. And the automatic function is going to constantly wind them. The sound control, it's not doing anything right now, but when you pull the trigger and the gears and the motor start turning, it'll click and it'll start feeding the gun automatically. Personally, I use sound control because it is the easiest option to use. Alright, so something that takes a little bit of getting used to is how to put the box magazine in. Most people try to clip it on first and notice that it's not going to work right. So what you have to do is you have to take the nozzle and place it in first. And you wait for it to click. And then you take the box magazine and clip it on the predetermined trays. And it's not going to wobble, and it's going to stay there just fine and give you that completed saw look. Okay, so to remove the box magazine, you're just going to unclip it and pull out the feeding tray. Feeding nozzle, whatever you please to call it. Another great feature is that it does take M4 mid-cap or high-cap mags. Any M4 mag will work. Just simple click, no wobble, really great. This is a G&G mid-cap and a G&G high-cap that I use, and I find it works out really well. So right now, basically, I've covered everything aesthetically, and you're probably wondering, well, how does it shoot? Out of the box, it shoots alright. It's going to chrono in at about 380 to 400 feet per second, and so, it's got some good velocity coming out, but the rate of fire with an 8.4 volt is, it's alright. It's going to come in at about 18 rounds per second, and that's not too bad, but it can be upgraded to a nunchuck type battery. When I say nunchuck battery, you're going to need it's pretty much a double 8.4 volt nunchuck, and it'll be a 9.6, and it'll run a little bit faster for you if you need that. You'll still be hosing BBs down the range anyway. Now, the accuracy on it at first is, basically, your stock bucking and nub are useless. The bucking goes in standard, and it goes into your hop-up unit. So the hop-up nub on an M249 series is a little bit different. Instead of the traditional of the nub going in like this and the BB touching the bottom of it and getting your backspin off that, it goes in vertically, and basically the stock nub is too soft and you don't get any hop with it. So basically a good solution to fix the too soft nub is to go buy a standard nub a nub bucking combo would be preferred, and just place it in vertically and it'll work great. Your hop up is accessed by pinching the feed tray open, and there's a little wheel in here right under there that you turn, and it's snuggled in there so it's not going to move too much, so once you get it adjusted you should be good to go. The gearbox on this gun is built to last. It's set up in a way that nothing's going to break on you, and it's going to keep running and 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 running. And when I say that, I mean it's going to last you, until you strip a piston tooth or break a piston tooth or, strip a gear. But your gear should hold for a while, and the piston is probably the first thing you replace, probably close to 10,000 rounds. Maybe you'll get a little bit more out of it, but I'm not going to, I'm going to give you a good estimate there. Alright, so basically I've covered everything I want to on this gun, and overall I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Because, it's a great gun and it's definitely worth the buy. Aesthetically, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 because it does look good, it feels good, it's heavy, it's full metal, you got that cold seal effect going, and it's really nice. Stock accuracy is to be desired, but once you put in your new nub and bucking, I'm going to give that an 8 out of 5 too, because it is pretty great. You're going to get, good 150 foot groupings with it. So again, overall, we're going to give this gun an 8.